Hey guys, what's up? So I'm responding to this video that I made where I was talking about respecting the job interview process, and I'm actually shocked by the comments that I ended up getting back from a lot of you guys. And it's really cool. A lot of you guys are actually in Europe, and some of you are, like I said, are in India and South America, and a lot of them are in the United States and Canada. But it was very interesting the feedback I was getting, because a lot of you guys were like, no, suit and tie, you're clearly like overdressing for a programmer position. And I just want to explain a few things. Number one, about where I am, and also the fact that it seems like reading those comments like I'm disconnected from reality. But I think that in my particular case, that I really feel like I'm right in this case, at least in the United States, especially in like a power place like DC. I mean, so for backgrounds, right? There is a company that I know that there were several people interviewing with this company, and I actually talked to this company, and everybody was wearing suits and ties when it came to going to the interview. And I'm pretty sure that you would not be getting the job if you didn't have a suit and tie on. This is a major military defense contractor in the United States. It's like the fourth largest. They do a lot of drones and cybersecurity and things like that. But everybody knows Raytheon in the United States. They're a major company. I can tell you, if you went to a job interview for one of these companies, you're looking at salaries of anywhere from $100,000 to $140,000, probably on average for typical programmer and engineer positions. You better damn well wear a suit and tie to an interview like that, or I think you're gonna have a hell of a time getting the job. That's just my opinion. Another thing too, because I do this YouTube channel, and this is Chris Hawks just talking, giving his thoughts and things like that. My employer, anything that I say on here is not associated with my employer, so you guys will never hear me mention my employer, because I don't ever want to give the impression that like what I say or what my opinions on my own time, whether or not they reflect the company that I work for or anything like that, because clearly nobody as an employee has that right to speak on behalf of their company or something like that without their permission. But I do work for a company that is a Fortune 500 company, and it's absolutely imperative that you do wear a suit and tie during certain occasions. And it's a company that's been around for almost 100 years, and they're actually owned by another company, which is I believe, largest company in the entire world, which is Berkshire Hathaway. So Berkshire Hathaway is owned by, or the CEO, it's headed by, the famous Warren Buffett, and who's considered the greatest investor of all time, second richest person in the world, worth roughly, 70-some billion, maybe, somewhere around that. But you can see Berkshire Hathaway has net income, that is profit, yearly profit of $24 billion. And, like I said, this is a company that's headed by Warren Buffett. So in one particular case, I had the pleasure of being able to attend a meeting that Warren Buffett had. He actually came to the office I was working at, and he gave a speech in front of all of us, which was a really cool occurrence. In fact, it was one of the moments in my life that I realized that like I finally had started to arrive. Like I felt like things were happening, positive things, because I went from being in construction and things like that to attending a meeting where I got to listen to Warren Buffett, leader of Berkshire Hathaway, give a speech. So that I thought was pretty special. So yeah, net worth of $74 billion. So you can imagine, if you're going to listen and you're going to be at a conference with Warren Buffett, that you're going to want to dress up in a suit and tie. He's a traditional suit and tie kind of guy. I think anytime you get into that category, then that's going to be the case. So another thing too is like when you look at salaries, like I was reading an article on Monster.com, and Monster was basically saying dress up 1 to 2 levels up from the position that you're looking for. So if you're in a position that is going to be paying literally $100 to $120 to $140,000 a year, you want to dress the part like that. That's a humongous salary. So I don't know what it's like in Silicon Valley, but I have a hard time believing that just because you wore a suit and tie to an interview for any sort of position that could be excess of $100,000, that you wouldn't wear a suit and tie. Like I just, to me, that just blows my mind. Like I said, but that just could be like an American way of thinking, or it could be the type of companies that I've actually interacted with, in the Washington D.C. area. Another company where people dress up in suit and ties, not during work, but for the interviews. At least from what I've known, is Capital One. That's another company, and they're a financial institution. So a lot of you guys said financial institutions, banking, insurance, financial banking, same thing. But I'm having a hard time finding companies that you wouldn't want to do that. Like maybe at Apple, maybe they don't want you wearing a suit and tie at all. I would imagine Facebook. Mark Zuckerberg's so friggin' cool. He wore a hoodie to the New York Stock Exchange when Facebook went public. But guess what? That image freaked out investors, and they ended up they had a really rough outing when they first went public as a company, because I think some of the traditional Wall Street investors, and I remember some commentary on it, that they were a little bit concerned with his nonchalant attitude of, okay, this person's supposed to be heading a multi-billion-dollar organization, and we're about to pour all this money into it. Like maybe we want to second guess this because he's not part of the traditional business thing. So I know society changes all the time, and like I said, I could be completely out of date. I have a hard time believing that, just based on, like I said, the jobs that I've been that and the companies that are in the area and things like that. So I think I guess there's some sort of middle ground depending on the position that you're at. But software engineers, they're getting paid a lot of money these days, and for most part, like you probably, like this guy right here, he's got the shirt untucked. Even in the business casual environments that I've worked in, like you have to have your shirt tucked in. You have to have collared shirts. Like it's, and maybe it's an old school company. I don't know, but that's the way it is for me. So as much as I would like to go into an interview with a short sleeve shirt, like my favorite singer Anthony Ranieri from Bayside here, and show off my knuckle tats and my hand tattoos and my neck tattoos and stuff like that, I don't think I'm going to be able to get that job. Now the thing is that I will say that society has slacked up on that a lot. Like there was a time where like anybody that had the nose tattoos and ear tattoos, even at the age of 35, I remember the times where like everybody was saying, oh, you have a nose ring tattoo, or you have a neck tattoo or something, nose ring or a neck tattoo, that you're not going to get that job. And it was like basic marketing or business type job, and they'll tell you make sure that if anybody had tattoos on their hands or fingers, that's it. Like, but you see Ranieri here, he's like a rock star, so he's got his hands tattooed, he's got his each finger. Like I wanted to do code, and then for LIF for life on my knuckles, but I can't do that, and that would be very irresponsible of me, because it's just not going to work out. But anyway, these tattoos are pretty awesome if you're a rock star, but it's probably not the best idea if you're trying to stay and get into the business industry. So here's a question on Stack Exchange from my boy. What the hell is his name? Joel something or another. I can't remember his name. Joel Spolsky. So anyway, he says, is it necessary to wear a suit and tie? And he says, short answer, unless stated explicitly otherwise, always formal. So I think you can overdress. I think you guys have actually stated that pretty clearly, that you can overdress. But clearly there's also a difference of opinion, because this guy says, I haven't worn a suit to a tech interview in years. I always nice business casual clothes. So I would suppose if you just, instead of saying suit jacket, just do the long sleeve dress shirt, maybe with no tie. At the very least, you should be doing that tucked in. But like I said, and then clearly being underdressed is a big risk. But you guys have basically stated that being overdressed is a big risk too. But I don't know that you can really overdress for, like I said, the 100,000. But there's all kinds of information. So basically, maybe experiment. Let me know what you guys find out. That'd be interesting. So guys, that's really all I got tonight. Make sure you subscribe. I appreciate you watching the channel, and you have a good day. Bye. Hey guys, so a lot of you ask me, how do I get my foot in the door to become a programmer? And I just want to take a moment to mention, Dev Mountain Coding Bootcamp is a 12-week intensive course that focuses on the technologies of the here and now for web development. Some of the things that they're actually teaching in this 12-week course, it's geared to get you into the industry by focusing on things like jQuery, Node.js, React, Angular, how to use GitHub. So a lot of the things that you're going to need to do as a developer, as soon as you start, they're going to be teaching you in this coding bootcamp, and the entire goal is to be able to get you into the industry within 12 weeks. So if you guys are interested in learning more information about Dev Mountain Coding Bootcamp, just check out the link in the description tab of this video. Thank you for watching, and have a good day.